Yes, I'm back. I'm stubborn like that. So I keep trying to get things right. That's something, teachers used to like about me. Whenever I would do something wrong, I'd keep doing it until I got it right. That sounded wrong. Oh, thank you, love. Appreciate it. R8RBEAR! Aw. Let's go. Shade Street. No, you're my guy. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Frankie Sambrano. What's up, man? Ooh, another good name. Sambrano. I like that. Woo. Often imitated, never duplicated. Nah, that fool with no head that shouts like Ric Flair. The Raider Bear. Ah. It's like that. R8RBEAR! Alexa, stop. I got it like that. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you all here hanging out with your boy, the bear, for 1 hour talking about this Raider business. And without further Raider Bear Live. First comment, Josh Russell. The heavyweight champion of the world, undisputed for like all eternity, Josh Russell, and his two angels, his lovely woman and his beautiful little girl. Second place, silver medal, Dustin King. What's up, DK? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear, and seemingly always in second place. Oh, little Josh Russell trash talk for you there. I'm his hype man. He's my heavyweight champion of the world, DK. Okay, you get this. Okay, that's your thing. Okay, but he's still my heavyweight champion of the world. Okay, that doesn't change until somebody dethrones him. And I for a minute I thought it was going to be you. No, I didn't. Not really. No. Third place, my bronze medal, Travis Kelly. All right, that's enough of that. See, Kelly's one of those names I can hold that note for it. I can't. I'm still holding it. It would be like an like an echo in the Alps. I can hold that note too long. All right, so what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Omar Godoy, honorable mention. What's up, Omar? Welcome to the show. Ramiro Cashflow Castro, welcome to my YouTube viewers. I'm getting a little bit of pushback from my YouTube people who are telling me I'm ignoring your comments. I am not ignoring your comments. It's just there's a lot more Facebook comments, and so sometimes YouTube comments can get pushed back. So I apologize. I love you, my YouTube subscribers. Please, I'm trying to get many, many more. I have just a little tiny little tadpole of a little bit of a YouTube presence right now, so I'm working on that. But I really appreciate you guys. Welcome to the show, and please remember, subscribe to Raider Bear Live. And if you would, on Facebook, please subscribe to Raider Bear Live. We actually collect funds on Facebook on Raider Bear Live. We actually collect $5 a month, and that goes to charities that we work. Sorry, I went DJ and all there. Second there. You think I could talk for a living when I talk for a living? But anyway, we do a lot of work with many charities all over the world. And we really appreciate your help because we've been able to do a lot of really good things. Vicky again, Bear. Jim, she got you by 2 spots. That's it, Jim. She got you with the bear by 2 spots. That's it. You were right on the money though. Gabriel Davis, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Denton Rhodes, Space Force. Josh, look, Josh Russell, I don't know if he's breaking windows or if he's on 7.0 or what now. He always went. Steven Marchand, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Rick Samarano, always aloha on the Raider Bear. It's my guy right there. Joe McMillan, Bear, I can hear you tonight. Yeah. Yeah, for a change, I feel like sometimes my studio is like a Studebaker, and you just never know how it's going to run that day. I'm like cranking the engine and kicking it in the butt. Yeah, most of you aren't old enough to know that we used to actually crank engines. There was actually a crank, and it was at the front, right at the center, just above the bumper, and it would actually go into the engine, and you would start cranking it, and your car would start. Now, this is before I was alive, okay? So don't go trying to say I'm that old. I just happen to know my history. I have Raider football. I swear, I have Raider football. I'm just not like these other shows, okay? I do my show, okay? If you want those shows, go watch that show. Jason Morales, what's up? Welcome to the show. Bobby Ware, what's up, Bobby? Hit that like button. While you're at it, hit that share button. It's that easy. Appreciate you, Shane Street. Oh, hi, Raider Val. What's up, girl? Steeler Val, whatever. I kind of like how Raider Val sounds. She's probably not liking that right now because she's a Steelers fan. Bob Standard, what's up, Bob? Welcome to the show. Hey, man, we're truck buddies now. I told Linda when you come out to Arizona and I get out there, we're going to have to go out cruising in our white trucks. We're going to leave our wives at home and go get into trouble. Bob and I are the most square husbands ever. We could actually say that to our wives and they wouldn't believe us. They would know we were going out to do nothing. We're going to the movies. We're going to go get a couple burgers and we'll be right back. Ted Thane, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Well, what's good? Ted Thane, you're kind of one of my more favorite comment guys, although that was just you saying hi. When I see your name, it makes me kind of focus and start to go to football a little bit more. So welcome to the show. And I'm giving you that credit for that. You do. You kind of bring me back to football, and I'm less humor and more football. But one last thing, April 15th, don't forget, April 15th to the 16th, technically to the 17th if you're cool. But if you're not cool and you have to fly home or whatever, that's fine. But April 15th and 16th, Arlington, Texas, Lexington Pavilion, TNBC Crew, 6th annual Booster Club event, season kickoff party in Texarkana. And it's going to be fat. And the reason I know is because their host, he's kind of dope. I mean, you should see the host. He's just... It's me. It's me. I'm gaslighting. But anyway, it's going to be good. I'm going to tear the roof off. Michael Smart, I am not going to the draft in KC, but next year I am going to, as stupid as that sounds. I mean, the year it's in KC, I don't go. And then the year after I do go. But because I don't know, do they always do the kickoff, the draft thing? I don't know, because I know they do it a lot in KC. So I don't really know, but I know that it's there officially this year. And then next year, the people with Elite Superfans, ESF, I saw them talking about it today. And I was like, okay, well, I should drop into that. And then Raider Wolf, one of my good friends, said, if the Bears going, then the Wolf's going. And so now I'm going and Raider Wolf's going. And so we're all going to be in KC next year. Okay, I'm hearing Will Levy's draft is dropping because teams feel like he's arrogant and seems to have a sense of entitlement. Travis Kelly, welcome to the show. You are hearing that, but you have to remember, when you hear those things, it's only somewhat true. In other words, sometimes it's true, sometimes it's a lie, and sometimes it's used to get other teams to look away from him. Sometimes it's a subterfuge tactic. Okay, I know I use subterfuge already. I'm just assuming most of you looked it up from my last show. Okay, if you haven't looked up subterfuge, look it up. Okay, not you, Tommy. I know how smart you are. Now, Having said that, a lot of that could just be smoke and mirrors. You know what I mean? Just to get people not to want to select him in the hopes he'll fall down. Because remember, if I'm not, and let me pull up the draft order right here because I have it right here. After the Raiders, you've got the Falcons. They wouldn't mind a quarterback. And then right after that at 11, you've got the Titans. Just a couple more spaces down, you got the Titans at 11, and then the Jets at 13. And I could see one of those. For example, the Lions pick 6th in front of us, and we all know that they have their quarterback. They're not looking for a quarterback. And to be honest with you, even if the Lions did look for a quarterback, it wouldn't be a quarterback of the future at this point, because now the Lions are built to try to win. They've got, a good running back. They've got a decent defense. Their coach is young and aggressive, and the team likes him. They've got a quarterback in Jared Goff that's still, a young guy. They're trying to win right now, even though that's funny to say about the Lions. Aren't they always trying to win? You know what I mean? But their logic football-wise is that they're trying to win right now. So they're not going to look for young quarterback. Okay, so if everything goes to pattern, okay, let's say we get through the Panthers, the Texans, the Cardinals, the Colts, and the Seahawks. Okay, those first 5 picks, let's just say those all stand pat. And yet Anthony Richardson is still on the board. Okay, or let's say Anthony Richardson and Will Levis is still on the board. Okay, now I know that's a likelihood is almost 0, but I'm just bear with me for a second. Bear with me, bear. But the point is this at 6, if that happens, if there's 1 or 2, even if there's just 1, but if there's 1 or 2, then you could have a team like the Titans at 11 entice the Lions. Because what does it hurt the Lions to go from the 6th pick to the 11th? They're picking defense. And whoever they want, more than likely, is going to still be on the board unless it's Jalen Carter. And I would even argue Jalen Carter will probably be still available at 11 because he's fallen even further down the board, theoretically. If you already had him, let's say, low in the first round, well, then he's absolutely out of the first round now because he pled no contest, finally, no contundere. And when you do that, you're basically saying, I'm guilty, but there's so much evidence against me. I don't feel like I can beat this. So I'm pleading no contest. I have no ability to contest this. And when you do that, that automatically puts the NFL, on no uncertain terms against you. And so now he drops. Maybe they decide, you know what? We give this spot up to the Titans at 11. They jump up. They take Anthony Richardson, and we're sitting there at 7 looking stupid. And I'm not saying we would look stupid because we didn't get Anthony Richardson. I'm saying we would look stupid because we didn't get Anthony Richardson because that's what they want to do. So if that's what happens, then yes, it looks dumb. And then we end up, pivoting to Devin Witherspoon? You know what I mean? I don't care what cornerback's coming out of this draft. Unless the guy looks like the next coming of Deion Sanders, the bust potential is too high for a guy at 7 at defensive back. I don't love it. Remember when everyone wanted Charles Woodson? Did you ever hear anyone say, oh, I don't know if you should take Charles Woodson that high? No. No, you never heard anyone say that. Not a single analyst said, oh, I don't know if we should draft Charles Woodson that high. No one said that. And there was a reason for it, because you looked at him, you watched him play, and you knew he was the man. Tell me who in this draft of defensive backs comes out with that resume. Too much bust potential. I don't like it. And I know most of you know what I'm talking about, because I know Devin Witherspoon was in a lot of people's mock drafts today because they're hearing the Raiders have been making the rounds, blah, 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 which is a nice way of saying they called him and they had dinner with him and all that nonsense. Oh, sorry, I just had this part of my face that's like itching me for some reason. But I don't like it. I just don't like the bust potential hype. Eric Jet, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Just got home. My schedule has seriously been all over the place since being trained for my own school. Wow. Shaddy says it's best, so good to be back. Hope everyone is doing great. Corner for the draft. Wish that defensive end fool didn't get stupid, or we would have been. Yeah. But there's still guys like Tyree Johnson that, you could still make a move up on the board with one of these other teams and potentially get him if they're really thinking about trying to partner someone up long term, as opposed to worrying about whether Chandler Jones can handle the job. If you want to go long term, you look at Tyree Johnson. You have a chance that you could move up the board. Maybe it's say, well, I mean, I'd go back to the Cardinals at 3. I think the Cardinals are just vulnerable because the Cardinals are in a position just suddenly out of nowhere with J.J. Watt gone. Hopkins should be gone. You know, they've lost other players, and their quarterback is suddenly acting like a malcontent. They don't even know if he's really the guy of the future. So they're going to probably give him 2 more years. In reality, 1. He's going to get next year. And then after that, they're going to evaluate what they want to do with him the following year, i.e. keep him or let him go or trade him. You know what I'm saying? Kelly is that name like O'Connell with that green Irish Raider jersey. I would love to see that, man. I want the Raiders to pick someone at a major position that's Irish. I just think the Raider fan reaction would be glorious. You know what I mean? Because we would be allowed to mix green into all this black and silver, and it would just be fun. And then forget about St. Patty's Day. Whoever our Irish player is, God forbid, even if he's like a backup quarterback, we should do it on St. Patty's Day. Just all celebrate O'Connell because he's a Raider. Got to make hats for him. I mean, I got to make songs for him. Michael Smar, appreciate the love on the lid. Kim Calhoun, I watch on both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. That's because, Kim, you're a real fan of the Raider Bear. Love that profile picture. Your sound is great. You must have an amazing IT wife. You're right. I had nothing to do with it. Bear, I just would like to say whatever you did to that damn microphone, it's working now. Do not touch anything, brother. Travis Kelly, even Mama Bear will admit to you that there are times when I don't touch anything and all this stuff goes haywire. And we're finding out it's just sometimes my dogs will run through here. They'll clip a cord and something will get unplugged, and then my cat will do it, and just so I've begun to put them in dungeons most of the afternoon. Gabriel Davis, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Bear, there is a Paranormal Cirque 2. It's a adult R-rated event in Eureka today through Sunday. Thinking about going Saturday. No kids allowed. Who hacked Bob Standard? No. I don't believe it. That is not Bob Standard. Oh, love you, brother. It's Studi Room. I know, right? Bear Gutierrez. What's up, fellow Bear? Just got home. Wow, nice dogs, Bear. Those are dope. I appreciate that, Kim Calhoun. Vicky Ginn shared the Bear. Much love to you, love. Rude Boy Raider 305 Miami in the house. What's up, dog? Welcome to the show. Nathan Matthews, been seeing a lot of whispers of getting Witherspoon to connect again with Hobbs. Do we go corner with the first pick? Nathan Matthews, Nathan, again, you like my friend Ted. You always make great comments, and I appreciate that. You always have great questions. And welcome to the show. And I would say this to you, brother. Dang it. I mean, I feel bad because sometimes I don't like answering questions like this, but I feel like I have to. I would say this to you, Nathan. I don't like it because I don't feel like you draft a DB that high unless the guy is like, really, really good. I mean, it's just obvious. And I don't know that Devin Witherspoon jumps off the screen to me. He's good. He's a ball hawk. He's got good hands. He's physical. He's fast. Not, elite fast, but fast and fast enough. And, I just don't like the bust potential of a DB at 7. I just don't. And honestly, I would love to see the linebacker, that really nice linebacker that's in the draft, the number 1 guy, looks like Captain America and all that. I'd like to see him. Hold on, just getting my stuff here together. Bring up my ticker here. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure what you're talking about as far as a middle linebacker named Mills. Rick Samorano. Is that who you were saying? Who was saying Mills? I'm trying to find that again. Someone said we signed a linebacker Mills, and I haven't heard anything about that. Yeah, Rick. I don't know who that is. Tell me who you're talking about. And then I can speak intelligently on it, because I just looked in my ticker to see the Raiders' recent moves, and I've got everything right up until DeAndre Carter. Just the other day, Alex Bars, our new guard, John Jenkins, our defensive nose tackle, Keelan Cole, we re-signed, wide receiver, Duke Shelley, cornerback, Austin Hooper, tight end, also O.J. Howard, big tight end, but more of a blocking lineman tight end, David Long, Jr., cornerback, Sims, wide receiver, we got from the Commanders, 6'5", 220 pounds. He'd be a nice number 2. But I don't see Willis who you're talking about. Vicky, again, I would love to see you in Texas. Raider Ric Flair, I got a question for you. Since Jalen Carter is erased up the board, do they trade up to 3 or trade back? We already know you want Skoronski, but if they don't stay at 7, do you get Tyree Wilson to pair with Mad Max? Or linebacker, for the love of God, no cornerback? Beaver Nuts sponsor me, Raider Ric Flair Bear. Very nicely done, Kenneth Parsons. Let's see. If they don't pick up, I'll do you one better. If they don't end up going with Anthony Richardson, which I find unlikely, I think they're going to make a move to do that. I think they're going to make a move to go to 3. Whether Anthony Hopkins is in the deal or not, I don't know. I still think that that's a possibility, but I would tend to doubt it, because a lot of the hype around it kind of died down. So I think they may have a deal in place at 3 for the Raiders to move up, but they may wait, until the actual draft day to announce it. Tanamoku said, sometimes Levi kind of reminds me of Cutler, Jay Cutler type of guy that's too arrogant. Welcome to the show, Tana. That's a great question and great point. And I would say this to you. Don't you want a certain amount of arrogance at the position? I mean, isn't Aaron Rodgers arrogant? You know what I mean? Peyton Manning was a nice guy, but he was arrogant. Tom, winningest quarterback ever, arrogant. I would argue with you that the majority of guys that really make it to the top have a little bit of arrogance about them. And I would say this to people, ease up on that, where that's a kind of thing that bothers you. You want to allow your athletes to be able to enjoy their success. And when they do that, then we say they're arrogant, or we say that they're wearing their rings in public. They're showing off. Are they? Can't they just wear their rings and be excited that they got these huge rings that they've wanted all their life? They've been playing a sport since they were a little kid, and now they're a grown man or a grown woman. Like in the case of Sue Bird, who has 4 championships in the WNBA and 2 at the college level. Okay, she's got enough to wear one on every finger on her hand. And I guarantee you I'd do it at least once. Waiter, one on my thumb. But the point is you kind of want that. If you really are going to find a guy that wins, he's got to have that kind of edge. He's got to believe in himself. And I would argue Jay Cutler had that too. He just never got it together with the Bears and wherever else he ended up landing, because I know he went around for a little bit. Yes, Vicky, again, you will go to jail. So many teams and reporters would have to get on the same board to blow smoke up that. Yeah, Eric. I heard the Raiders are becoming less interested in Jalen Carter. I know Frank Clark is still a free agent. Do you think the Raiders make Clark an offer and then draft Witherspoon? If you pick up Clark, that allows you to pick up Witherspoon, because now my bust potential argument kind of goes out the window, because if you're down to where that's now the greatest sense of need on your team, because through free agency, you were able to cover up a lot of your deficiencies. For example, we brought in John Jenkins at nose tackle to help against the run. We already brought back Jerry Tillery to help on the defensive line, and that new kid Willis that we brought in from the 49ers. So you have some guys now, some real, bar movers on that line. So now you can kind of get away from there. Okay, so now we've signed already 2 linebackers to play in the middle, and we already have 2 linebackers on the roster that are fairly decent. So, and in my opinion, I can't really go as far as to say Divine Diablo is a star yet. You know what I mean? But I'm happy with him being the third linebacker on the weaks or the strong side while our two new linebackers play the middle. I like that. I feel comfortable with that. So once you do that, now we get into the secondary. Okay, well, we've already picked up a corner in Duke Shelley. We've already picked up a safety in Marcus Epps. So maybe now we're down to just that one last cover corner position that we have to deal with. We brought in the kid from the Rams. He's going to be the veteran fighting for the spot. Now maybe you bring in a kid to see if maybe he's the real deal and outplay the veteran for the spot and have the veteran there in case he falls or gets injured. Fall meaning fall on the depth chart because he doesn't play well enough or gets hurt. You know what I mean? So, there's a viable argument there. I could make a viable argument to put just about any position as your number one pick at 7. But the problem with it is it doesn't change bust potential. That's it. It may still be it may be the only position of need now, of greatest dire need in the first round would now be secondary. So you want the best secondary guy. But man, you better cross your fingers and your toes, man, and hope that, he's not a Arrington, or another one of these guys we pick up that just, doesn't really show up. Mark Vargas, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Anthony Richardson throws bombs into ceilings and definitely a raw talent. Being the younger of the quarterbacks, I honestly think he has the best upside. Travis Kelly, I'm going to give you the Raider Bears angle one more time. And I would like everyone that's watching this show to just give me some hearts, give me a like on this page, follow, share, and subscribe to Raider Bear Live. Okay. If you can tell me that I just made a comment about something that you haven't heard anywhere else. Okay. Ready? Okay. The Anthony Richardson bomb throw. Okay. That went 74 yards. I think they said unofficially. Okay. And then he threw one just prior to that went all the way up and it literally hit the ceiling and everyone went crazy and people were clapping and they're saying, oh, his explosive power. I would argue with you that was a wild throw. I would argue with you that throw was not funny. It didn't amuse me. I didn't understand why everyone was so impressed that he could hit the roof. So what? If he just looked up and threw the ball as hard as he can, he could have hit the roof so hard the ball would have made a thud sound that would be picked up by the mics down on the ground. The point is he was trying to throw the ball at a certain elevation to get to his receiver, and he was so off that it drifted so high that it hit the roof. I would argue that that's a shank, and he played it off by clap. And by the way, Anthony Richardson is smart. He's very smart. He immediately started clapping and laughing and threw his hair back and was just like, going like this. And it got the other reporters and coaches to clap and laugh too. It was clever, but it was a misthrow of like monumental proportions. In other words, had that been a game ball, it would have been in the air for 10 minutes waiting to fall into who knows whose hands, because anyone on the roster the water boy could have ran from the other side of the field all the way to the other side of the field and get under that ball. That's how bad he threw it. I'm not backing off of this. I'm not. I want to make it clear. It's not a character thing. The tattoos, the hair, the muscles. It's none of that. I like the guy. And I don't know how many of you have ever heard him talk, but he's intelligent. He looks like a nice guy. You hear everyone talk about he's a nice guy. You can only take so much with that because those are reports and they don't want to mess with his brand. But the bottom line is, that was a misthrow. That was a misthrow. And I can hear like Al Davis screaming from the other world, no, no. He's Jamarcus Russell. He learned his lesson up in heaven, and now he's trying to help us down here. His thick-headed son can't hear him, though. What's up, Tommy? Mommy has always talked to me like an adult, and if I didn't know what a word meant, she had me look it up when I cold read, so I do have a good vocabulary. Right on, young man. Good job, Tommy. Gabriel Davis, what position player would pick? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. What position player would pick the draft first round? Okay, so he's asking who I would pick. Gabriel Davis, welcome to the show. At least I hope I read that. I mean, the way you wrote it, it's a little bit confusing. I didn't want to seem like I was insulting you. But I think I understand what you're saying. Who would I pick? So honestly, I'm boring in that way. I would take Skoronski because, see, to me, you buff up your offensive line, and you don't do it with cheap tricks. For example, Although OJ Howard is a 6'6", 251-pound tight end who can play offensive lineman like a son of a monk, the dude is a monster. Okay. But he's not an offensive lineman. He's a tight end. And I'm not saying he can't block. The guy can block, but he's not an offensive lineman. That means he's only going to be in sometimes. That means he's going to be only in certain packages, certain plays. He's not going to be out there every play watching Jimmy's back. And I would really rather that we put a Colton Miller type level player on either end of our offensive line. Because, by the way, Colton Miller ain't getting any younger. He's been giving us the best of his life right already. You know what I mean? And now we're going to get the second half of the prime of the best of his life. And then that's it. So we're going to probably get maybe 4 more years out of Colton Miller at best. And that's if he doesn't end up in free agency and leave us. But if he doesn't end up in free agency and leave us and he just stays a Raider, we probably get 4 more years of good, solid football out of him. So let's get a guy on the right side that can pair up with him and actually keep our quarterback on his feet. Because I'm excited. Sorry, sorry. I kind of have to hesitate when I'm going to say something like this because it boggles my mind that I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say it. I'm excited about what Jimmy Garoppolo could do if we can keep him on his feet and healthy. Because no matter how we feel about him, the team he came from, both of them, that we hate the first team he was on and the second team he was on. What's he going to do next? Go to the Chiefs and then come to us? The Broncos? But the point is, he won while he was with the Niners, guys. I mean, he won. He won while he was with the Niners. He did. Whether he was directly the result of that or not isn't the point. Did it have everything to do with the Niners defense? Yes. But did it have everything to do with the Niners defense? No, he did throw the ball. He did have decent seasons. He did protect, his touchdown to interception ratio was strong. You know what I mean? And we don't need him to be, again, I've said this 100 times. We don't need him to be the best quarterback in football. We just need him to not be the worst and stay healthy, get us across the finish line in a couple of games. If Jimmy Garoppolo, for example, throws for 300 yards in 3 games, then you could say those 3 wins were directly attributed to him, no matter how the defense plays. Because if they happen to rise up and play well, good. And if they don't, and Jimmy just outscores the other team and we win because he threw for 300 yards, maybe he gets 4 touchdowns. Okay. Then we could say he brings us those 3 wins. See, I think Jimmy actually accounts for 3 wins. I really do. I think just his talent can win 3 games. And so just by bringing him on, because he's going to know this offense and because hopefully we're going to keep him on his feet. If we keep him on his feet, he'll know this offense. He'll get things done. Anna Diaz Rincon, my first supporter ever. Hi, love. Welcome to the show. Bob, that's what's up. Let me see. Did you guys just get out of the hot tub or something? Sounds like you were going to sleep right after the show. No. What's up? It's the R8RBEAR. What did you need? Some energy? Dude, I'm 0 to 60 like that, okay? Don't ever test me. Reyes Antonio said, nice hat. Appreciate the love, brother. What's up, Stephen Bobo? Yeah, Tyree Wilson. Isn't that, am I saying his name wrong? Maybe is it Tyree Johnson, defensive end? There's a little bit of a smoke and dagger mirror going around saying that teams may take him as opposed to Carter and then force Carter way down and then have the NFL teams play a game of chicken to see who's going to be the one that signs him, which I just think is stupid. I just think it's stupid, whether it's no contest or all these other things. He did it all before he reached the NFL. You can't now punish him in the NFL. I just don't like that. It's just a reason to say, we're going to pay him less and save some money on him. So let's all of us curmudgeon him out of the first round and then see who's willing to throw a second or a third at him. It's stupid. And I don't know if all the teams will have the balls to do it, because one of those teams might panic and just say, just do it. Just pull the trigger. Just do it. And if the NFL suspends him or whatever, we'll just deal with it. The guy's going to be a franchise changer. And he is. Jeffrey Moore said, good analysis, Bear. I accept all compliments. Hey, Bear, did you ever get a bear hat made? Vic, again, I did. I had a fan do that for me once, and then I gave it to another young fan of mine because he was going through some stuff, and I was hoping that my hat would motivate him to, soldier on and get through that tough stuff. And it sort of did, and it sort of didn't. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I'm hoping someone snatches Richards, and we pick Levy's. Yeah, because I don't mind the whole arrogance thing. I don't care about that. If the guy shows up and he throws touchdowns and we win games, I don't care if he's arrogant. We're not taking a quarterback in the first round. We're going defense or lineman. Bill Cox, I appreciate that. But I'll be honest with you, everyone I've been talking to is saying that that's all smoke and gas and that we really will look for an arm. I would argue with you that if you go for an arm, okay, what you can do is you can say, okay, I'm Josh McDaniels. I've only got 1 year in. It was the whole mess dealing with Derek Carr and rearranging the chairs on the Titanic. So now that that's done, I'm going to start bringing in guys with my guy, Dave Ziegler, such and such, and then we're going to build a winner. But if it doesn't work, now you have Jimmy Garoppolo as your scapegoat. Oh, he was too injured. Oh, he threw too many interceptions. Oh, I thought he could come back and run that on offense he's always known from when he was with the Patriots. Oh, I guess the Niners changed him too much. It's his fault. Now I've got Anthony Richardson. I'll bring him in, and now we'll win games, guys. And he can buy himself 2 years of that with Jimmy Garoppolo. This coming season, plus next season. And then you again, if you have Anthony Richardson, anyone would understand if you're a real Raider fan and you know football. You don't want them to rush Anthony Richardson out there. Yes, it would be exciting, but you don't want to F with his confidence because he gets out there and throws interceptions and then gets hurt. You know what I mean? And is all excited to win for the nation and then loses. And then God forbid some of us start booing at him because you know that they would. But they wouldn't be booing him. They'd be booing the play call or the offensive line or whatever the case may be. But the quarterback, he's going to hear that and he's going to think you're booing him. You know what I mean? And so you gotta walk a guy like that in the right way. He's only got so many even starts under his belt. He is not ready for the NFL. If you brought him in right now, and by the way, whoever does sign him, if it's not us, if they try to bring him in immediately, it just won't happen. He is not Lamar Jackson. And by the way, why didn't we get in on Lamar Jackson? I just don't understand that. $10 green beers for his birthday. I like that. Oh, Steve Marchand, you getting ready to move to Texas? Nice. Hey, we're going to be there April 15th, Lexington Pavilion. You got to come check it out. Free event, lots of goodies, music, food. It's going to be good. Troy Gill, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Back in the day, had an excellent middle linebacker who was Irish, Dan Connors. I remember that guy, yes. All right, we know your Witherspoon thoughts. What if the Raiders go Kancey in the first, Kincaid, the tight end from Utah in the second, and Mazzie Smith in the third? Jones, Kancey, Smith, and Crosby would be scary. I'm down with O'Connell for quarterback. Yeah, O'Connell. I want O'Connell. I don't even care if he's that good. Make him third, and we'll all wear green O'Connell Raider shirts. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna make it a thing. I might print them myself. Kiss me, I'm O'Connell. Put a little green 4-leaf clover underneath it. Now, what do I think about your guys? Kancey Jones, Kancey Smith. I like it. I like what you're saying, Ted Thane. I just know that and I know you know that a draft board is fluid. And so any one of those names could come off at any point during whatever round, you're considering them falling, and then you'd have to go with someone else. So it could be Jones and then Kancey's gone and we get Smith. Or it could be Jones is gone and we get Kancey and then Smith is gone. And you know what I mean? And so when I do anything like I'm doing tonight, where I'm talking about the draft or free agency, that kind of thing, what I try to do is I try to get feelers out to people I know that I know people that work in the organization, that are close to the organization, reporter friends that I have, et cetera, that send me texts in the morning of things they've heard or seen. And then I can bring you guys that. But I don't like it when I've had a lot of people over the years. They say to me, Bear, do your own mock draft. Okay. And then it'll be all wrong. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be a weather reporter and tell you it's going to rain this weekend. And then when it doesn't, just go, oh, well, and every weekend just come give you some guess. And that's really what it is. It's a guess. It's an educated guess. Don't get me wrong, but it's a guess. Now, have I done it with the number 1 pick before? Yes. And when we were picking up Henry Ruggs III, I called that like a month in advance. And I said the trio of great wide receivers that was coming out, he was the best one. And he was drafted first. And in my opinion, he had the best career until, of course, his, tragic accident and killing that, nice young lady. But, what are you going to do? Breeze Raider Nation, what's up? Welcome to the show. Justin King, anyone still entertaining the idea of trading down a few picks and a 2024 first round pick? We could go defense and pick up a late round quarterback this year and trade up next year for a quarterback. Well, Dustin, look at the scenario I was talking about. If you look at the draft order, the Titans draft 11th. I would offer them R7 to move up and try to get whoever they want. You know what I mean? Because we can move down, take their 11 and something they have in the third, or take their first round number 11 overall pick and something they have in the second round. Maybe it's a late second rounder and they're okay with that, that kind of thing. And so I just think that's smart, because if you don't do that, you're still the same team. We have too many holes. And when you want to fill a lot of holes, you need a lot of potential hole fillers. And I would ask you guys this: what would you rather have? A shot at 6 guys that might fill the spots you need, or a shot with 15 guys to fill the spots you need? Now, don't get me wrong. I apologize. I asked you a loaded question. I mean, it's obvious you'd want more guys, but that's what I'm getting at. You see, sometimes a team's position, as far as their talent level, what they were able to achieve last year, and how many holes they have, dictates what you have to do in this draft. So see, I don't know if picking up Witherspoon would be smart, because if you pick up Witherspoon, all right, you got one corner. So what? And what if he busts? Then that's one less pick that you actually made. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you have 11 picks, suddenly you only have 10, because we know now, let's say we had a magic ball and we knew in 2 years he was going to be a bust because of guns and machine guns in his trunk of his car. Not like we don't know anything about that. And he's a phony rapper, and he's telling people in his rap videos he's going to kill them and then actually saying their names. Can you believe that guy? Oh, yeah, I'm coming for you, Dustin King. Eric Jet, I'm coming for you, Eric. And I'm going to put you down, Kim Calhoun. Yeah. I don't even know if I would have done that joke with actual guns, just because I might have got a knock from the cops on my door afterward. Yeah, Kim Calhoun is concerned with what you just said, Mr. Bear. So, I just, that's a level of stupid I can't handle. And so if you go with Devin Witherspoon and he busts, you're effed. Whereas if you go with Skoronski, now you're picking a solid pick, a pick of an offensive lineman, which usually, pan out. Alex Leatherwood. Hey, Alex Leatherwood wasn't my pick, okay? That was a weird pick. But usually offensive linemen don't bust. Oh, and then I had to go bring up Alex Leatherwood. Joseph Bear, would you take Jalen Carter even with all the drama with him? Okay, I want to make it clear. It's not okay for people to die, okay, because of the actions. But at the same time, can we just dial this back a little bit? Okay. Because remember, you guys have been watching all the morning shows. You've been reading the news. You're hearing all these things about Jalen Carter. Okay. Now be honest. It influences your opinion a little bit. You start to consider, should this kid get drafted at all? Shouldn't he face the law first in its entirety before he's even drafted? So maybe make him miss this year while he's dealing with his legal case, instead of allowing him and his lawyers to put the case off until a certain month next season, when we know the season will be over, which is ridiculous. It's entitlement to someone who's obviously going to be rich. Okay. So I don't like that. Okay. But at the same time, do you think that the other people he was racing were forced to do that? No. Obviously, these were his friends. Did he make them do that? No. Did the people that got in the car with him, did they make him feel like, oh, I have no other ride, I got to go with you? No. Did they feel like, I don't want to be in this car because Jalen Carter's driving too fast? No. I would argue that's consent by every one of the adults involved, including Jalen Carter. So in other words, they all made mistakes. There weren't minors in the car. They all made mistakes. Okay. So for those other people who survived the accident, right, they just get to go on with their lives. No one scrutinizes what job they do or don't get. But because it's Jalen Carter and he's going to be rich, now we look at that and say, oh, I don't know if he should be allowed to have this job. He had an accident in a car. I'm asking any of you, how many of you have been in car accidents? I have. It wasn't my fault. I got hit from behind, but I've been in car accidents, 2 actually. Both times I was hit from behind, once on the freeway and once on the road. And, should I not now? Oh, we don't want that podcaster. He got hit by another car and the person in the other car died. But that's his fault too. Why? And so I don't know. I just don't understand how much this should derail Jalen Carter's career. It bothers me because I don't know why this should come into his job. You know what I mean? Now we know why, because he's got a spotlight on him. He's a role model. He's on television, blah, 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 blah. I get all that. But I don't think that should start that kind of scrutiny until he's in the NFL. Right now, he's not anything. Let him get a job. And then we can scrutinize the living hell out of him and let him learn from what he did, But he's not Henry Ruggs. He didn't get the money. He didn't get the fame and the power and then be that stupid. He made a mistake as a kid coming out of school, excited about his life, and he drove too fast. I don't like the fact that they keep using the word racing. Okay. Lots of people drive fast. I've raced my sister home from work, when we were kids and from school and things like that. And I just used the word race, but I mean, it wasn't a race. She went one route. I went another. We just both tried to get there before the other. Had she been in a car accident and died, would that be my fault if I suggested to her we race? No. You know what I mean? Yeah, Eric Jett, if you go at linebacker, you're probably going to be okay. I would agree with that. The depth at linebacker in this draft is very high. Bill Cox, the taking of a second or a third round and using that to get a quarterback is fine, but you're not going to get a guy that's going to be a potential franchise guy more than likely. And remember, I say that with a grain of salt because I know that there are first round talent level guys that just didn't show that in college, but they show it in the pros. You know what I mean? I don't know how many examples we have, but there's a lot where a guy comes from college, goes to the pros, and then plays better football than he's ever played in his life. You know what I mean? And so we're going to see that from certain guys that get picked up in the second, get picked up in the third. We're going to see that. And please, if you're enjoying the show, please like, share, and follow me on YouTube. And if you would consider a subscription to R8RBEAR Live on Facebook, it's just $5 a month, but you can cancel at any time. Now, if you do the math, that's just $60. It's effectively for the whole year. That's the price of a pair of jeans. So if you can, consider a subscription to R8RBEAR family page because we're doing a lot of good out there. We're saving a lot of lives. I can't tell you how many organizations we work with because I don't have enough time to. There's a lot, okay? We worked on the ground in Oakland, feeding people, bringing dry clothes, all sorts of socks and shirts and pants and sweatpants. And we used, we're bringing portable showers right to people's hands. I'm not talking about just donating money. Okay. Most people, when they give money to charity, they just do it over the phone. They pull out their credit card and they say, here's $20. You know what I mean? We go out on the ground and face these people, dirty, tired, hungry, alone. You know what I mean? Scared. You know what I mean? And you wouldn't believe the things you learn from them if you talk to them for 5 minutes. You wouldn't believe the things you learn. I was trying to bring some of them pet food because I noticed some of them had small dogs and small cats, and they would say thank you, and then they'd say, but could you bring one other thing really nicely? You know, they don't bother, they're not rude. You know what I mean? But very nicely, one of them said, could I get one other thing? And I said, what? And she said, red pepper, as much red pepper as you can get. And I was like, you want a condiment like salt and stuff? I'll bring you all that. And she said, no, red pepper. And I said, okay, come on. I got to know. Just what? Tell me. And she said that when they go out during the day, their camps, they get invaded by mice that can smell food that's in their camps. And so the mice and the rats, they'll come right in their camps and eat things that they intended to eat themselves later on. Actual real good food, you know what I mean? That's in styrofoam that they got from a restaurant somewhere. And then they take it back to their place and they try to hide it and rats eat it. Okay. Well, what they do is they sprinkle red pepper all the way around the tent, like juju dust, to protect the tent, because as soon as the rats come in and they smell that, it like blows their nose and their brain up and it kills them almost instantly. So if you ever have a problem with a mouse or a rat and you ever knew where they were getting into your house, just sprinkle red pepper there and they can't help it. They sniff it instinctually, and I don't know why it is, but it hurts them. He actually showed me, and they had dead rats like all over the place and they were just covered red pepper. So I mean, you learn something, you know what I mean? Joseph Sotelo, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Sorry, I know I eat so much time talking about that. Are you serious when you say you want Mark to sell the team? They hate to some college classes that Duke can take. Eric Jett, I am serious because when I say that, I don't mean it to say I don't like the Davis family. I don't mean it to say that I don't like Mark Davis, although I don't. I just don't mean it to say that. What I mean it to really say is that he is the follower of the genius. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't want to know what Einstein's son knows. If I want a prediction, I'll ask Leonardo da Vinci, not Michelangelo da Vinci, because Leonardo da Vinci is the genius. His son, Michelangelo, is a boob. Usually guys of great genius, they don't produce sons like that. I mean, look at LeBron. LeBron's son right now was just in the McDonald's All-American game. He was throwing up shots all over the place, and he looked great. He looks like a real pro, but he ain't nothing like his daddy, and he never will be. You know what I mean? And I'm not a LeBron fan. I'm just saying he's not as big. He's not as tall. He's not as fast. He's not as anything. You know what I mean? So you always measure up short when you try to measure up to your dads. You could even be greater than them, but just at something else. You know what I mean? Jeffrey Moore, nose tackle we looked at with Jenkins. We picked him up from the Dolphins, and he's real nice. I mean, he's a furniture mover. And I guarantee you we're going to look at someone else. And in fact, the Jenkins signing at middle to me was to sign the starter. Now, Jenkins will start at nose tackle. Now, who goes behind him? Maybe someone another guy in free agency at the position, as opposed to looking for someone in the draft at that position. Because if you were going to get someone at that position in the draft, you just go with Carter. Because obviously Carter's the best at that position. And with the 7th pick, you can get him. It's just there's no one that's going to have the stones to pick him before that, except maybe the Lions. What have the Lions got to lose? You know what I mean? They're already a laughing stock. They're already a bad team. They already struggle. And yet, even with now this revamped roster, new coach, new quarterback, new running back, and they look like they really want it. The defense is playing hard. They still struggled. You know what I mean? They won one game. This is a true story. They won one game last year. Then they lost 6 in a row. Then they won 6 in a row. What? Raider C-Dub, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Tommy, I will do that. Absolutely. If you win a medal, I will absolutely make a show out of it. I promise. Bob Stannard, I wouldn't mind that, a linebacker and a nose tackle. But I mean, at the same time, nose tackles you can find in free agency. You know what I mean? I don't need to take a kid for that. You take a kid when you're like the Lions. You know what I mean? We're the Raiders, and we're supposed to be close, and we're supposed to be trying to build towards something. I don't want a defensive tackle that's trying to learn his way through the NFL. You know what I mean? I would much rather just find guys that are furniture moving, bar bouncers, and just put them at the – and we did that. Jenkins is a bad man. The Dolphins did not want to lose him. So it was a good move. Kevin Kahuhano. Hano, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Corinne Trujillo, you never have to apologize, love. I appreciate you. Matt Marinovich said Jamarcus Russell threw that far too. Well, he threw that far. He didn't hit any roofs, but I'm telling you honestly, I think that was a miss throw. I really do. A real bad miss throw. I heard Levis and one of the other quarterbacks did that too at their pro days. Tanamoku, I'm not saying no one else did it either, but I didn't see it. If they did, okay. Let's see. I'm done picking quarterbacks and corners so high. I will take a defensive tackle or linebacker at that position right now. No more defensive ends till I get over Furl. Well, you can get over Furl real fast because he's going to be a Santa Clara Niner. And so they're going to find out, just like they did with Arden Key, that when we give up on a guy, it's because they're not any good. Thank you. I agree about the throw. Richardson is extremely smart, but his accuracy and throwing issues are giving me Jamarcus PTSD. Ted Thane, I would say this to everyone that's saying that, though, and bringing up the Jamarcus Russell reference. I don't think it's the same. I made the joke too, but I don't think it's the same. Jamarcus Russell was a nincompoop, a boob. that was more concerned with having his velvet red. I don't know if you guys ever saw that, but he he had a fur coat that was red fur, a red fur coat. And then he wore that with something and these gigantic necklaces and everything. And I'll never forget, it was right after a loss, and he wore all that to a Golden State Warriors game and was down by the courtside going crazy and happy and smiling and pumping his fist and just all excited. Go Warriors. And I thought, man, people who really want to win, when they lose, it eats at you. You know what I mean? I don't like losing at anything. My wife will tell you, I don't like losing at checkers. I don't care what it is. Video games, board games, app games on your phone, PS4, whatever, you name it. I want to win. And when I don't, I get mad. Now, not mad. I don't treat people wrong. I don't disrespect people or anything. I don't pound the table or anything like that. But I don't like it. I want to win. And if you meet people that are used to or are comfortable with losing, I would show you someone that's comfortable with losing because they lose a lot. You know what I mean? And that's no disrespect to anyone that's watching me who might be bad at board games or something. But my point is that don't enjoy losing. Don't accept losing at anything, ever. And if you go to a job interview and you just know you're going to get the job and you just know you're going to do a great interview and then you don't, so what? Go home, wash your face, get up the very next day and go and do it again. And when you fail, get up, go and do it again. Because the best of us understand that none of us are unstoppable. None of us never fall, no matter how great, handsome, or smart I may be. And I am. All right. See now, there's the arrogance. See, and now I'm coming off like Will Levis. But the truth is, you need some of that. If you're going to win, you need some of that. And I can tell you honestly, I win a whole lot more often than I lose at everything. So I like that attitude. I just hope we don't draft someone like Jimmy Dean from Sausage University. Jimmy Dean. I never heard of the guy. He won, but will be glass jaw Joe. No, I'm concerned. Eric Jett, Jimmy can throw downfield. He didn't throw downfield with the Niners system because I don't think he trusted it quite as much. The offensive line, although it was good, it was a better run blocking line than pass blocking. Sometimes he got hurt. And sometimes that wasn't even on the Niners line. That was just on Jimmy Garoppolo. There are times when Jimmy Garoppolo has what I refer to as deer in the headlights. Once the ball is snapped and he's looking around, if someone on the defensive line breaks through and Jimmy looks at them, then he can't stop looking at them. And he'll either throw the ball away or take the sack or scramble or whatever the case may be. But what he doesn't do is keep his head about him and continue to see downfield and find runners and people in a route. He just folds in one way or another. Fold meaning throws it away, runs for a couple yards and slides, that kind of thing. Whereas, even Derek Carr was the kind of quarterback that when the pressure came, he would roll left or roll right, roll away from the pressure, try to step forward if it was coming around him, step into the pocket, make your throw, that kind of thing. And I don't see that from Jimmy Garoppolo. And Rod Stivington, I'm concerned about it. I mean, he's got a injury clause insurance guarantee in his contract that goes into the 40 millions. I would argue with you that in week 3 or 4, if anyone hits me hard, if I'm Jimmy Garoppolo, I need my insurance. Oh, someone send me home so I can retire. Send me my $40 million, Mark. Thanks. Sorry about that. That was actual reenactment. I know what Jimmy looks like. That's what he'll do. It'll be his throwing hand. Jimmy G is more consistent quarterback. Let's go off the ball quicker and knows let's go with the ball quicker and knows the offense better than number 4 did. Matt Marinovich, I mean, obviously there's no doubt about that. I don't think there's any doubt about that. In fact, I even made an argument once that really pissed off a lot of Raider fans because Derek Carr was still with us. But I said flat out, if I don't like Jimmy G, but if Jimmy G came and was competing with Derek Carr for the starter, Derek would have lost. You think you guys were pissed because he got benched 2 games? Could you imagine if he had gotten Jimmy to compete with Carr in that first year? He would have benched Carr even sooner. He'd have missed like 8 games. I'm deathly serious. I'm worried about getting super fast receivers that will outrun his throws because he doesn't throw deep. Raider Sal, I would argue he can throw deep. He just has to trust that the system's in place. If the offensive line protects him and he has a pocket, he will deliver the ball. I don't really believe there's any quarterback that can't throw the deep ball. I don't really think there's any quarterback that can't throw the deep ball, even the weak ones. As long as you give them then that, 2-step and then hurl the ball. And it's a lot to ask, you know what I mean? If the quarterback's not very strong and you have to give him enough, space in the pocket to step up, 2 good steps to really hurl it, like when we were kids and you're trying to throw your whole body into the ball. But if the line can play for him, he'll be able to do that. You know what I mean? Look at Kirk Cousins. He does that. He's a little guy and he has to wind up and put his whole body into it. But his line holds up and he gets in there and he takes that step and he throws his whole body into it and the ball gets there. And he's a midget. You know what I mean? So I would argue Jimmy Garoppolo can get the ball there. It's just a matter of getting him in his offense again. Miguel Garcia, 559 Fresno in the house. What's up, brother? The year the Niners went to the Super Bowl, Jimmy had the ball handed the ball off 87% of the time. Anyone can do that. Jim, again, I'm not disagreeing with that. I realize he wasn't exactly throwing the ball all over the place. You know what I mean? But you have to understand, he was completing passes. He was getting balls to guys downfield. But during the playoffs and one part of the year or that kind of thing, did they make him hand off the ball more? Yeah. You know what I mean? But I would argue that was in part, remember, because they had a rash of injuries. The Debo went down, Kittles went down. They didn't have a running back. You know what I mean? Some of their offensive linemen got hurt. Their defensive linemen got hurt. I mean, the Niners, for a 2-year window there, it wasn't just Jimmy that got hurt. They had everybody on their roster was getting hurt. It got to the point where people were questioning their strength and conditioning room because they were getting people hurt on the regular. So, you can't get people hurt on the regular and then just decide, well, that's no big deal, blah, blah, blah. All right. Well, again, my name is Raider Bear. This is my show, Raider Bear Live, here on YouTube and Facebook simultaneously. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please share Raider Bear Live. Please like and follow me and hit that little subscription and hit that little bell on YouTube so it'll remind you when I'm going on. And if you would, consider a subscription to Raider Bear Family page on Facebook because we're doing a lot of good. And I will see you all again tomorrow at 8. Raider Bear Family page. And for those of my subscribers that are listening to me real quick, I am going to get back to doing much more of my shows for subscribers only. I apologize. Raider Bear Live is going through some stuff that has to do with legal matters and financial stuff and our home and our kids and all kinds of stuff. And so we're super way busier than we are normally. And so it's been harder for me to get 2 and 3 shows in a day. But I will get back to a minimum of 2 shows a day very soon. And I really appreciate you guys. And I want to take care of my subscribers just like you take care of me and help me to take care of others. And I really appreciate that engine. And much love. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Raider Bear Family page. But I end the same every single time with a shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force, Denton Roads. For all you do, the energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice, active and veteran. Much love. And we appreciate all your views. And we'll see you tomorrow. Raider Bear Family page. Peace.